My wall just gets worse and worse. Hey guys, so sorry I didn't update for like 2 weeks I think, but I kind of have been busy and I just wanted to update when I actually feel like I have something to talk about rather than just forcing myself to do something. So yeah, here I am. Okay, so the other day I went to see Skyfall in the cinema, and whilst the movie was like really good, I had quite a lot of problems before the film started. Now, problem one was down to pure stupidity. Okay, so my mum, being the clever person that she is, decided she would book the tickets before we actually went to see it because it's James Bond and it was kind of new, so you weren't just going to get seats on the night. And so she had booked the tickets like 3 days in advance, and we got to the cinema, found our row, and there were only 3 seats left, and there was me, my mum, and my dad. So we didn't bother looking at the numbers on the seats. We just went and sat down because we assumed everyone else had taken their proper seats. And then about 2 minutes after, this couple come along and they say to me and my mum that we're in their seats, and we were like, okay, looked at the numbers, and we were. And so we were like, okay, where's our seats? And so we went down the row and found people who were actually sat in our seats. Now, these people were the most arrogant and up themselves people I think I've ever met. Like, they were absolutely adamant that they were right and that we were looking in the wrong row, or that we were on the wrong day or something like that. Like, they thought that these were their seats and they weren't even gonna stand up or to check our tickets or anything. They were just adamant. And so after a few minutes and a few pissed off people either side of our row, my mum went down and went to get someone who actually worked in the cinema, and he came up and he looked at our tickets, and it turns out that the people who were sat in our seats were meant to see it the next day. Nothing made me feel happier than when I just sat down in those seats knowing that we were right. And if it was just like a casual mistake and they were like, oh shit, yeah, sorry, and got up and walked away, it wouldn't have bothered me and I wouldn't have thought anything of it. But it was just the fact that they refused to believe that they were wrong. They didn't even stand up, or they didn't even help my mum find someone who works there. They literally just sat there like, ugh, these peasants are going to be so mortified when they found out they're wrong. And the thing is, we were like quite near the back, so we could, like, you literally had to watch them walk from the middle of the row all the way out, all the way down the stairs and out of the cinema. And it was just the best feeling ever. Number two, what's more annoying than someone making loads of noise in the cinema? That person being your dad. Yep. My dad was the annoying person in this. We sat down and we were all chatting, and it didn't really matter because it was just adverts. And then the film started and it was really tense, and don't worry, there won't be any spoilers. And it was really quiet and you could just hear a bit of music, and then my dad suddenly goes to try and find frickin' treasure in his popcorn pot, and I look at him with pure disgust on my face like, what are you doing? We're watching James Bond. And the thing is, because he was doing it, everyone else just assumed that me and my mum were like that too, and that we were going to be the annoying loud family throughout the whole film. And my mum and I were absolutely mortified, and he did it about 4 more times until my mum eventually just hit him on the arm and were like, shh. And then he got the pic. And then a few minutes later, he was like tapping me and like whispering my name, but he wasn't whispering, very quietly. And I was like, oh my god, I'm going to hit you in a minute. But after about like half an hour, he kind of got the picture that me and my mum currently didn't like him, and so he shut up and watched the film. Now, the third thing is probably the most annoying thing, because not only was it extremely rude, but it's also one of my pet hates. We sat down and the woman behind me put her feet up on my chair, and initially that didn't bother me because it wasn't making me uncomfortable. It's not like I could recline my chair or anything. And then about halfway through the film, she kind of started tapping her foot on the back of my chair. Like, you know when you get really bored, or when you've been sat down too long and you kind of have to move your feet to make sure that they're still going to be attached when you eventually stand up? She was doing that, but it was on the back of my chair, so I could feel it every single time, and I Oh, it was so annoying. And then after about 5 minutes, she eventually stopped, and I was like, oh, thank the Lord. And then she started fidgeting. All her body weight to my back, and then she let go, and then she put her feet up, and then she put her feet down, and then she put her feet to one side, and then she put it to the other side, and then she put them down again, and then she put them back up. And it was so rude. And it was making me really uncomfortable because I couldn't stay in one position. And I just wanted to turn around and shout at her. But other than that, James Bond was absolutely amazing. There was action, and there was fighting, and there was cars, and there was people smashing through windows, and there were plot twists and themes and great storylines, and it was just amazing. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go see it now. If you have seen it, then comment down below. Tell me if you liked it. We can fangirl together. If you didn't like it, tell me what you didn't like. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.